much for joining today's class. My name is Oluwakemi Ojerinde, and I'm going to be sharing with us on the topic productivity. Productivity is the topic that we'll be talking about today, and I'll be sharing my slides. I hope you can see it from your end. In the table of contents, we're going to be treating some topics. We'll be treating what is productivity, how to engage in productive work entitlement, creativity, discipline of execution, and leadership as regards to productivity. Now, the first thing I want us to talk about is what is productivity. Productivity is the process of sourcing and maximizing potentials in raw abilities. So, before we go further into understanding what productivity is all about, I'd like us to first of all talk about some myths around productivity. That is, what productivity is not. So, in order to be able to understand what something is, you must be able to know what that thing is not, right? So, what productivity is not? Number one, productivity is not being busy. So, So productivity is the ability to organize knowledge, manage tasks effectively or efficiently, and maximize output in a given period of time. It involves focusing on important activities, that is, minimizing the distractions around you and using the tools or systems you have within your reach to boost your personal and team effectiveness. So I know that's a lot of English. I'm just going to explain in the simplest term possible that productivity is being able to bring forth results over time from some of the efforts that you are putting into whatever it is that you're doing. So it's the ability to organize what you have with you. Now, what you have knowledge, you have abilities, you have potentials, and to use all of that in order to achieve your life's goals. That is to achieve results in whatever you are doing. That is basically what productivity is all about. Now, in order to best understand what something is, it's often good for you to ask yourself what that thing is not. That is, what something is not will help you know what the thing is. So we're going to be dealing with some myths about productivity. That is what productivity is not. And the first on the list is that a couple of people believe that being busy amounts to being productive, sorry. So people believe that being busy is the same thing as being productive. So the fact that you're spending hours in order to carry out a task, or you are often always seen as a busy person, you're always busy on your table, on your desk, or you're busy with work, does not amount to being productive. So, in order to be able to know if indeed the activities that you are carrying out is really yielding productivity, it means you have to be able to measure it over time. And measuring it over time means that you must have set a couple of targets and goals that you want to be able to achieve within a specified period of time. Now, looking back at all of the things you have written down as your goals, you measure it and compare it with your activities and some of the things that you have been doing. If they match up, then we can actually say you are being productive. However, if there is disparity, that is, there's a difference between a large gap between what you're doing and what you're supposed to be doing, or what you're supposed to be arriving at, that is the results you are expected to have achieved over a given period of time, then you are not being productive. So most times in the office space, you see people, getting emotionally drained. You see people getting offended because they've been working over a number of years in an office environment, but they ask themselves that why are they not being rewarded like others? Why are they not being promoted? Why are they not getting the same volume of recognition that is being awarded some other people? It's perhaps because their activities is not aligning with the goals of the company. It's not aligning with the results that the company expects of them over a period of time, which means that to the company, they are rating them as being unproductive. So you might see people who spend extra hours even beyond the regulated office time, but over time, when the company wants to do um, an assessment or an audit, they realize that they are not the ones that are giving the reward. They are not the one that is getting the reward. It means that to the company, they are unproductive because they are unable to meet their targets and they are not able to show up with the expected assessments from the company. Another thing people mistake productivity to be is people believe that you must feel motivated in order for you to be seen as being productive. That is, you must be in high spirits, and that is a myth. it is very wrong, because the fact that you are being productive does not mean you have to always be motivated, or you have to always be, in high spirits, or you have to be the one that everyone can see that you're happy, you're all over the place. No, sometimes productive people can be very reserved. Sometimes productivity requires that you take time to meditate and take time to go off the radar. That is, you're not being seen all the time. So you don't necessarily have to be 24/7 excited, in high spirits, or be motivated. The most important thing is your ability to deliver results as at when due or when necessary. Another thing, people, so I was told to check my time. I would like to do that. 7:35. It's reading. So another mistake a couple of people mix productivity to be, people believe that multitasking grants you better productivity. So I'm here to say that that is also a myth, and it is not necessarily true, because you can be very good at multitasking. However, multitasking, from what we have seen over time, is that it makes people lose focus. So multitasking, as much as it is very good, it also must be done with balance. So if you are often saying doing multiple things at the same time, there is a very likelihood that you might not be able to bring out the expected results at everything. So there's a saying that goes that some people are a jack of all trade, but a master in none, because the energy you are dissipating into multiple tasks would have done a lot of productive work if you are putting it into one task per time. So it is often best, if you put in your energy into task per time, in order to be able to measure out your output and results within every duty or task that you're doing. But if you are all over the place, scattered, doing zigzag activities, and you call it multitasking, it might amount to you having multiple unfinished projects and multiple unfinished work. That way, you cannot be rated as being productive. So sorry, we're still on the first slide. However, we are trying our best to move fast as possible. So now, what would I suggest for someone who perhaps loves to multitask, however, want to still be productive? I would rather say that you focus on one task per time.